Alessandro, great to see you. Everybody, great to see
you
you all, obviously. Appreciate everybody's coming out to join us, your time, energy. We know this is a busy few days, so we appreciate you, all of you, coming out to join us. So big round of applause for everybody in the room, sponsors, everybody. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to start actually, Alessandro, with you and I kind of blazing through some topics of kind of what's next and where the industry is headed. So let me see if this works. The first topic, is live sports viewing cannot survive in its current form. And we're going to kind of go, again, round robin real quick. So what is your take as far as the live sports viewing cannot survive in its current form? What do we mean by that as we discuss this today?
Okay, first of all, also warm welcome from my side. On behalf of the SVG Advisory Board. Many people coming in, so that's good. Live sports viewing cannot survive. I would, let's say, kindly disagree at the end of the day, because at the end, the thing is, how adaptable are we, and what is the necessity, let's say, especially around storytelling. And if we're looking brutal on the one side, we want to only, let's say, feed in the linear channels, then obviously we are surely but really very dead and very soon. But if we, let's say, see this from a 360 environment, an angle that we have to play with multiple platforms, and we have to produce content for multiple platforms for, let's say, fans where they are and pick them up where they sit, I think we have to be, let's say, super adaptable in the near future. And I think it is kindly of the, I would say, one of the biggest challenges we have to face, not from a tech stack point of view, because I mean there's tons of vendors in this room, which is, let's say, I really appreciate that we have the possibilities to produce more with less, for less, and for multiple outputs. But giving the mindset change you need, and especially around editorial teams, to think about 360 and produce content and not constantly refitting and reorganizing the content, I think this is one of the biggest challenges from my perspective. It's not a tech game. It's a mindset change which has to be done, and you see good examples in the past, let's say, from the big events now. But looking into the future, this is one of the biggest, I would say, prior number one before we start PowerPointing anything, and Jen and I will kill us. I think let's change the mindset.
Sure, and I think obviously from my perspective, you look at the Olympics, you look at the U.S. Open tennis, you look at the Wimbledon. Fans want more, right? They don't want less. So I think, and you saw this a couple years ago at Wimbledon, where they had, the players mic'd up on the practice courts. I think this is not only a broadcaster challenge, but it's a league and a federation challenge that fans do want to get closer. Whether you're young or old, you like getting closer.
No, you have to tell the story in a different way, and we always, let's say, claiming closer to the game. Closer to the game means at the end of the day having access, because every athlete is a broadcaster. And every athlete is telling his own story. And at the end of the day, our job is to combine it and bring the best in fans or in customers, in our case. And what you see is how to combine that. And again, it's not a technical game where we have to overcome because we see too many technical obstacles. It's more or less access, combining it in the best possible way on multiple platforms, telling the story in the right way, that everyone is, let's say, accommodated in the way he wants to have the story, but keep a consistent storytelling here.
Sure. So our next topic is, Okay, there we go. Need to find a better balance between technology and creativity, which I guess when you get to this is sort of interesting. I'll go back to the Olympics again. The number of times that I saw rights holders have bonded cellular, I mean, it was everywhere for their E&G crews to be able to easily get around and enable their creative teams, if you will, to tell more dynamic stories more easily. So that really is kind of, but we're looking to find a better balance. Do you think that the balance is right as far as the need for technology innovation versus creative intent, if you will?
Well, I think that the pool, especially around for creative people, using the technology which is in the market to be creative, and especially around what we told before, let's say, feed multiple platforms, it's already existing. The thing is, what is the balance between, let's say, CEOs, CFOs, if the investment is right, is the return on investment right? This is a different story. And I would add here, let's say, finding more ways how we want to utilize existing technology which is on the field, for instance, together partnering with host broadcaster, finding the best collaboration point of view with federation, what they are providing, and getting, let's say, this as a pool, as a hub, or whatever you want to call it, and finding the right balance here. I think this is also very important, because at the end, what you see is still, it's a very silo thinking. Okay, we bringing technology, we bringing creative people, we bringing reporters at the end of the day. And what you saw also, let's say, during Euro and Olympics, tons of feeds are produced already by the host broadcaster. So I'm questioning a little bit the utilization here, the utilization game here. So how much effort you have to bring as a unilateral broadcaster, let's call it, instead of a host broadcaster, and how can you utilize it, the existing technology? I would challenge us here a little bit more by saying, okay, let's find the best balance here.
Okay, so the next topic is that the OB van is dead.
Ooh,
heard
yeah.
this for forever.
Woohoo!
Is the OB van dead?
No, thanks God, no. From my point of view, still the backbone for many, obviously, tier one operations. Is there a transformation happening with OB companies? Obviously, yes. Is there something going in like cloud, 5G, RAMI, remote, how you want to call it? Yes. Do you need the OB van to survive and to overcome, or let's say at the end of the day, be your backbone on many businesses? Yes. That's why there are tons of still super complex operations out there with a lot of cameras, which you cannot, let's say, easily bring into cloud and remote, whatever you want to do. So the OB van is existing. Again, my question is here, are we using the OB van in the entire, as a broadcaster? Are we questioning the utilization of, okay, you need 30 cameras, how many times are you cutting a camera? For what reason? Why is it? For which storytelling? Again, and I rather have those discussions together with OB companies. Okay, you're bringing, well, let's say this is our job, let's say to define the profile here. But nevertheless, I would really say, I mean, let's talk to each other. It's all about collaboration. How many times are you using those cameras? For what things? For what purpose? And it is the producer's job to identify, because you're not a winning game to bring another camera on site. So, and that's why the OB van is not that. It's still the backbone from my point of view. We need them over many, many decades. But again, OB van's company, and they know it already. There are many here in the room. They have to change. They have to offer different solutions for different tiering of operations. And so that's why Mike is not that. So chillax, relax, have a coffee, because it's all good. But obviously we have to change.
And it's all about the right solution for the production challenge.
Yes,
right?
of course. So this is the briefing. It's all about the briefing, and sometimes you need to have the hard debate with the people who, let's say, get briefed, or let's say send the briefing, and ask the question, why are you using the camera? For what? For what reason? So I think this is our job. I think the resources are not endless. The pressure on cost per minute is tremendous high. And I would always give us, let's say, the good advice to ask the question, okay, why are we doing this? For which customer base we are doing this? What is the utilization rate on that? And then we hopefully find the right solution.
Sure. Okay, so our next topic is Gen AI. It's already enabling the broadcast industry to do more for less, improving efficiency and reducing production costs. That is sort of, I mean, it's been that way for a while, honestly. I mean, you could even argue that, traffic automation systems for commercials have been automated for a while and using AI. So what's your, and obviously Gen AI is going to be a big topic at the show. So how should people in the room kind of investigate that topic and where it fits into production?
So first of all, the more for less is not a new story. I mean, this is, let's say, a given fact in this room. The more for less is, I mean, we are dealing every day with the more for less. I think so Gen AI is obviously the hottest topic. It was at NAB, it will be at IBC, it will be the next couple of shows. It enables us 100% doing things in a different way. More for less is already anyway on prior number one on certain things you, let's say, consider which kind of technology, which tech stack. I'm 100% sure it is something you can use to, especially if you're thinking about all the creative design and obviously the storytelling, and this is, I think, the important thing is, for everyone in our business is asking the question again, why and which tool you want to have, because at the end of the day, every 2 seconds a new tool is popping up. And the question is in the room is really, and this is the elephant in the room, why you want to use it, how you want to use it, and reshift the existing resources to that what really, really matters. Because this is the important thing. You have to have the story. It's all about story centricity. on multiple platforms, and you have to reshift because you're doing more for less, or with the same amount of people in your organization. But you have to ask the right question: where can Gen AI support my whole entire supply chain to reshift the balance toward what really matters on the story side and give us, let's say, the repetitive work, something different in a different way. So this is something you have to discuss with all the vendors and all the software programmers in your building, in your operation, to do say, okay, how you can feed or use Gen AI as the main tool maybe in the future to, let's say, shift where it really matters, your organization into the story and everything else. And then, yeah, absolutely, it's enabling us, and it will enable us in the future to do things in an entirely different way. But you need, and one thing that, I think you need clear rules in your organization. And this comes not only with, let's say, privacy and how you use, reuse and refit the stories. At the end of the day, you need clear rules how you want to use it, who's using that, which tool we are using, and I think this is the way, the work we have to do before. I mean, this is clear, and I think that many organizations are doing this at the moment, and because otherwise it's ending up in chaos.
Sure. Okay, our next topic is the monetization of content across multiple platforms. Better monetizing. This is tricky, right? So I would argue clearly that in the digital, we have the digital dimes. Broadcast dollars, digital dimes has been the classic for the last 20 years. The advertising ecosystem within streaming is still horrible and is not even close to being properly monetized as far as delivering quality advertising into your personalized stream. So that's one thing that has to be fixed. But what's your take as far as the monetization, and what are you seeing in Sky Germany as far as, you guys are a subscription product, so are you guys headed in the right direction? Because in the US, it's all falling apart.
Well, I would say we are heading in the right direction, the others as well. Let's say this is the transformation we are totally in the middle of it, moving forwards, let's say, towards OTT platforms or different platforms, or let's say at the end of the day, from linears to digital. Let's say we have to talk with ad people here, because I think this is not a missing piece from ad technology, because the technology here, I'm always questioning, are we able to sell digital products? And I think at the end of the day, this is a discussion we have to run internally in every organization to say, okay, how we can monetize across multiple platforms. I think there must be a possibility, and there is a possibility. I would doubt about it that at the moment that the media sales people in organization, especially in bigger organization, are selling rather still linear than digital, and this is the shift they have to do. I think it's also here. It's not a technology game, because ad tech is existing and it gives us tons of possibilities. Again, I think I would rather have the discussion having someone like what we did before with the content storytelling. Which of our organization does have editorial teams, especially in us, having one of the greatest influencer every day in the room and asking, okay, the question, what is the hottest shit out there? And I think none of us will ask the question at the moment. So the question is really how to bring those people in and then trying to sell it. And then you need a different type of mentality in this room also from the ad sales people. And then we're getting to the point, I fully agree, we have to monetize it from end to end. But it is a tough mindset challenge from salespeople.
Okay, we have about 2 minutes left. So the future of the sector is dependent on strong supplier-client relationships.
Yes.
So obviously this whole show is all about this sort of thing. So do you feel that they're relatively healthy right now as far as the whole ecosystem of between yourselves and the OB truck vendors and the production companies, and then them to the equipment vendors?
I would say yes, and at the end of the day, let's keep it simple. So if as long as someone is picking up the phone and is speaking to you, I would call this a very good partnership, and I think this is worth to fight for it, because this is worth to call in, and it's also worth to, let's say, give as a kind of an expectation from both sides. It's not a one way. And then I would call it a really good relationship, and it is the only chance, by the way, because vendors and everyone else needs to understand where we're heading, and they're giving us the right solution to get there. And you have to describe it in a way, this is partnership. It's all about partnership. And I would say, I would call it, from my perspective, correct me if I'm wrong, as healthy, but I will see it from tomorrow on the floor. So, yeah. Or maybe for coffee afterwards.
And the last topic, vendors shouldn't get hung up on chasing the latest fads. So does that mean are we meaning don't get hung up as far as don't worry about it and chase the fads, or do you mean don't chase the fads? And what are the fads? Like, give us in 15 seconds, 1 or 2 fads not worth chasing.
I can't tell you.
Huh? How about watch parties? Watch parties.
No.
On streaming. Yeah.
No, focus on, that's what I said. Let's focus on what really matters from a content perspective. If this the ultimate goal that we have more watch parties, I think we're going in the entire wrong direction. I would really question and really want every content producer sitting in a room needs to ask the question, is this a silo thinking way, or let's say where I need to put my content on? Or is it a really end-to-end and really a story-centric approach? And I would really give us the challenge, let's think from a story point of view, what fits best for fans and customers. And then let's say pick someone, because we want to be super innovative, we are now creating a watch party. And then we are super disappointed that only 2,000 people watching it, and maybe we have 20 new followers. This is not the way, and let's say, and by the way, realize that TikTok is TikTok. And the language on TikTok is different. And if you want to replicate this on a linear channel, please enjoy, and then we're discussing a totally different story. So we have to have the influencers, at least if we don't have it physically, we need them on our table.
And of course, obviously, I think SDI is not going anywhere. There's still plenty of SDI. So again, all these technology people say everything's going this way, everything's going that way. It's not. It's a mix.
It's a mix. It's a mix, and it will stay as a mix. And we saw the discussion. We hear the discussion about the HDR, UHD, HDR. And now it's HD, HDR. So this is our daily job, by the way. This is our business as usual. We always, let's say. And cloud is commodity. Yes, all good. And now we're talking about data, and hopefully we are creating our decisions by data and KPIs.
Right. So real quick, why don't you set up, we have a little video here, so why don't you set this up real quick and then we'll run that video.
Yes, we brought a little video, and thanks to Warner Brothers and Eurosport for that. I mean, at the end of the day, we are talking all about the hot facts and what's happening and the cloud and buzzwords and everything else. Okay, here's the one thing, and enjoy and be inspired. We need the best we need the best technology to define the best stories and to create the best stories. And we can introduce tons of Gen AI layers, and at the end of the day, maybe one time the machine will take over. But we are not getting here. This is the great example of telling a good story. It is the women final beach volleyball, and it's exactly the dispute between the two teams, and the DJ is picking up the story and playing Imagine. So this is all about, we can do whatever we want to do, we can introduce the best technology. Please do me one favor, let's tell the stories. It will go viral, it's good. It will be a good brand for everyone. Feel inspired, because it's all about the storytelling, and I'm telling you this from an ops point of view. It is all about that. Enjoy, have good discussions, good sessions. I'm glad you all be here, and hopefully we're catching up soon around the show. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Wait, quick comment on that?
Sorry?
You have a quick comment on that? You were going to talk about it.
No, it's, as I said, I mean, this is exactly what I mean with storytelling and with humanity. And at the end of it, I believe still in mankind, because someone is picking up and maybe an engine can't do. So this is especially around those things which are important in our job. We want to entertain, and we want to give the best content, though. That's all about.
I will say, at the Olympics, though, the AV people in the stands were really good through the whole shows, talking to the crowds, getting them energized, and that was and paying attention, right? And being like, let's just have a little fun with this. So awesome. Thank you so much, Alessandro, for everything, all the leadership.